Hello, gorgeous. I am back today doing a podcast episode for you guys. So I'm sure you can tell from my voice, my entire family household has come down with a cold. And so we've been recovering this week, but I missed you guys. And so today I was feeling a little better and I decided I have to film something for you, even if it's just on audio. So whether you're watching this on our podcast or on YouTube, I hope you enjoy. And I would recommend grabbing a journal or a notepad for this because I'm going to be sharing with you seven different types of inner work that I have done that have changed my life the most. They've impacted my life the most. It was really hard to narrow it down to seven because as you guys have heard me saying, I've spent over $1 million on inner work, and I do not plan on stopping anytime soon. The ROI on inner work has been the one of the best that I've ever seen. The rate of return is it's just crazy. It's just crazy. You guys already know what I've achieved and manifested in my life in relation to my inner work. And so this is something I plan on continuing to do. But sometimes when you hear the term inner work, there's always those comments on my YouTube channel, even to this day, 13 years in, when people are like, "What's inner work?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, there's people out there that don't know what inner work is." So that's why I like to kind of share some of these like foundational trainings so that people can become aware that this is an option for them in their life. So the number one for me is this the number one inner work concept that changed my life. This is the first one that I actually even learned was the concept of self-awareness. And I don't know what to call this or how to explain it, but the observer effect. And I think this started in one of my communication classes at Northwestern University. I was sitting in class, and that day the professor was talking about meta communication. And he was explaining it as becoming aware of your communication, like being above the communication or talking about the way that you talk, right? And it was like something was happening to me when he was saying this. It was like a big aha moment. And that is what set the inner work in motion for me, even though he didn't specifically use the term inner work, but I could somehow tell that meta communication, talking about being above your communication, required a level of self-awareness. So this concept of being self-aware was for the first time brought to my awareness, for lack of a better word. And that is what kind of got my wheels turning. And I started asking myself, well, how do I communicate? Like, what is my communication style? So I think there are a lot of people that are not aware of the fact that they can be aware. They're just not self-aware. And what they're lacking is this consciousness that other people are receiving them in a certain way, and that there's a part of them that is functioning underneath their conscious awareness. And this is something that I think if someone was like, where can I start my inner work? Like, what's like the number one thing? I would say it would be this. You need to become self-aware. You need to know that there's some things that you don't know, that there's some things that you do say, there's some ways that you behave that are underneath your awareness. And that would be how I think the observer effect, like becoming an observer of yourself. We observe other people and we know where they're unconscious, but I think it takes a truly conscious person to be able to observe yourself and know where you need improvement. So that I would say definitely is like number one, like gateway, portal, where to begin. Number two, I would say is shadow work. And shadow work is really interesting. And you've heard me talk about this I call it like flavors. So shadow work is where a lot of people have formed this identity around this is who I am, and they don't want to be seen as anyone other than that. So, for example, if you think that you are a nice person, then you're going to avoid doing anything that might seem unnice or unkind, right? And so, because of that, you might be not speaking up when you need to, or saying yes when you really should be saying no. And so, when we start unlocking and becoming aware of all of these shadow things that we've hidden, we actually start becoming more authentic. And now we can use all parts of our being even if they make us seem unkind in the moment, right? Like sometimes you have to say no. Sometimes you have to just tell the truth if it's going to hurt someone's feelings. And so when you start unlocking all these parts, that's where I would say, like, they say, oh, be you, be authentic. Well, you really can't be authentic unless you're, first of all, have self-awareness. And secondly, have done some level of shadow work. Now, if you need help with this, I would say my Basic Babe bundle is the best place to start with. I'm going to say 6 of the 7 things that I'm going to share with you, and I'll still give you a reference for the 7th thing as well. Don't worry for your where you can get help. So the Basic Babe bundle has the self-awareness component. It has all of the other things I'm going to talk about except for number 6. And so I have a module in there on shadow work. If you would like further reading on this topic, Debbie Ford, Ford, has many books on shadow work, and I would honestly start with any of her books. They're all really, really great, and they will help at least get you aware of what shadow work even means and how to go about it. And I have a whole module on this in the Basic Babe bundle of how to actually do the shadow work. Okay, so that is number 2. Number 3 is inner child work. And again, I have work on this as well in my courses, including the Basic Babe bundle. Inner child work is understanding our unmet needs in our childhood and how they are still running the show in our subconscious. And there's things that happen in our life right now, no matter what age we are as adults, where we revert back to that inner child. It might be in romantic relationships, it might be in personal friendships, or it might be even with our, family relationships. And so becoming aware of what those unmet needs were, meeting them now, basically reparenting yourself so that that child is not the one that shows up and takes over in stressful or triggering situations. So that is also very important and has completely changed my life. Number 4, probably my favorite. I think I love all of these, but this is, you guys will know this is my favorite, is feminine masculine energy work. This is also important because we have these two beautiful energies within us, feminine energy and masculine energy. No matter what gender we are, we have both of these. And let me tell you, using both of these is such a high. I've never done drugs in my life, but I imagine this is what using drugs probably feels like. When you're only using one of these energies, nope, your life is not complete. Let me tell you, when you start using both of these, you feel superhuman. Like people will treat you like you're superhuman. You will manifest like you are superhuman. You will just function on a whole different realm. And on some level, I think this also touches on shadow work a little bit because some people, have their feminine in the shadow, or some people have their masculine in the shadow and they can't access it. And let me tell you, you are missing out. Even if you are very successful in your life right now and you've somehow been able to create success with like one hand tied behind your back without using one half of your energetic resources, let me tell you that you will be on a whole different level if you use both of these. And all of my courses, I think I have over 83 courses, all of them have aspects of feminine energy and masculine energy work in it, whether it's relationship courses or money courses or business courses. But a great starting point would either be my Lady Balls book. You can start there. That has masculine and feminine work in it. Also, there is a 90-minute play shop inside the Basic Babe bundle if you just want somewhere to start. If you want the whole like PhD level understanding about feminine and masculine energies, I have a training bundle called Feminine Energy Mega Trainings. And I think it's over 70 hours of trainings in there with feminine and masculine energy. So you can also check that. I will link all of these resources that I'm giving you in the show notes on my podcast or the description box on YouTube. Because I know I'm throwing a lot at you today. Okay. The next one, number 5, inner work that's changed my life is the 6-step process, which I have actually developed myself. And this process is basically a rewiring mechanism tool for you to shed your limiting beliefs and create new core beliefs. And this is a very important process because if you have beliefs that negate what you're trying to create in your life, you're never going to be able to get there. You will continuously self-sabotage and you won't allow yourself to have it because it doesn't work with your core beliefs. The 6-step process, again, is in the Basic Babe bundle. It's also in my Lady Balls book, which you can find on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target.com. You can also walk into any bookstore in any country and request that your bookstore order it through Ingram Spark. So you should be able to access Lady Balls on audiobook, paperback, Kindle, anywhere, basically hardcover in any country at this point. So it's everywhere. And it also has the 6-step process in it. Number 6 is human design. Now, you guys know me. I've never been one for personality testing or any of those things. I just never resonated with them. I don't like anything that tries to box me in or limit me in any way. However, when human design was presented to me by 2 of my students, believe it or not, it it really caught my attention and it has been a life-changing addition to my life. I believe I learned about this, I want to say about 4 years ago at this point. But oh my gosh, even people like my husband who are very mathematical, very science-based, right? Very left brain, logic, rational thinking, engineer mindset, even he was like, oh my God, this is very accurate. I mean, it's very surprising how much human design can tell you about how your energy body functions, how you manifest, how you digest food and information. I mean, so many things where you lean more masculine, where naturally you lean more feminine. It is just life changing how you will do relationships, what type of relationships will work best for you. I mean, basically, it's like having an entire blueprint of your life. And this is something that I think is worth looking into. If you've never had a human design reading, oh my God, you need to have one. In fact, every single person who's had one has brings back their children, their husband, right? And I've worked with entrepreneurs who now require each one of their employees or their team members to have a human design reading on file. Like that's how important it is to understand. If you're interested in a reading, you can have one with my son Armaan. He is really, really gifted in doing these readings. I mean, more than 80% of his clients cry on the reading and bring back their family members. So his email is majestyofdivinity@gmail.com. I will also go ahead and put that in the show notes for you. He just opened up his calendar. It was really hard to get in previously and there was a long wait, but he just recently opened up his calendar. So there's more opportunities to get in. So I wouldn't wait. I would hop on now and get a full reading done. And this is an information that you can his clients tell him all the time that like I literally watched hours and hours of content on this topic and it was nothing like what I got out of this reading. So treat yourself to a full reading and find out how you really function. You might also find it really helpful in learning what inner work to start first because your human design will literally tell you what you need to work on and what will give you the most sort of bang for your energetic investment and financial investment as well. Number 7 is identity work. Oh my God, identity work it is a more advanced level inner work. It's not something that people can easily start as like the first layer because they haven't done sort of those basic frameworks yet that would really give them that robust foundation to stand on as they do identity work. And sometimes with the law of attraction, a lot of newbies will start like getting into inner work with identity work, and that's where they will really struggle because you need some of the that it's like trying to get into a university, but you've never gone to kindergarten or like elementary school or like high school. You want to have those foundations, and then you want to start, going into those advanced frameworks. So identity work is where you are able to shift and morph your identity to keep matching and leveling up the game of whatever you're manifesting. And you can do this faster and faster and faster with less and less glitches, and like you just normalize it faster the more you do it when you do have that really robust foundation to stand on. So this is something that I'm teaching heavily in my Rich and Romanced in-person intensive that's happening. It's a 2-day event happening on February 13th and 14th of 2024 in Houston, Texas. We have 2 spots available, and the package includes not only a ticket to the 2 days, but you can get 2 courses of your choice, even if the courses cost more than what you're paying for your ticket. And you also get 2 live online play shops. One is happening on February 7th, and the other one's happening on February 21st. So it's a big package that has a lot of value packed in it. And we're going to be doing a lot of deep identity work in Rich and Romance. The full name of this intensive, which I feel like you need to hear, is Rich and Romanced, Wealthy and Wifed. And it is amazing for both single women and married women, as well as men that are primarily identified as feminine essence beings. So super excited for you guys to have these resources. And the final thing I will leave you with today is I wanted to celebrate the month of love. We're just kicking off today's February 2nd with a flash sale. So I've decided to put my Divine Union course on a 48-hour flat sale. And so I'm offering $667 off of the price. There's no code needed. It's already reduced. And the link will be in the description box. And that is through the weekend. It's a weekend flash sale for you guys. So happy month of romance and being ravished. And hopefully I will see you guys in Houston and celebrate with me doing deep level identity work around romance, relationships, and money. You guys know one of my favorite topics. So I missed you guys. I'm feeling a little better. So hopefully next week I will be able to do my live streams on YouTube once again and be back to normal. But I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Spotify or Apple or Amazon, anywhere else we have this. And I love you guys. All of the resources are in the description box, and I will see you soon. Bye.